So as you can see here, I've got a little resistor network breadboarded up here. I just needed to breadboard it first to make sure I get the right sizes of the fixed resistors, and so I could play with the potentiometer, which I have now removed from the board, and the potentiometer, which is also a 10k potentiometer, which will go through the casing of the torch. So on the minimum, you may be able to see that that's under half a watt, 0.38 of a watt, and it's just on pretty much like a night light. It's run for hundreds of hours, I'm sure, like that. And if one turns up the 10k potentiometer, apart from being blinded by the light, that goes up to around about 100 watts. You can adjust the in and out by the fixed potentiometer pretty much, but I think I've got a range there that I'm happy to work with, because yeah, all the way up to just on 100 watts. So I'm just going to underrun the 100 watt LED. I think that's probably the best thing, probably running it at around about 90 watts total. Anyway, I'm just going to package these up and solder them together so that they can go inside the casing now. First thing I've done is just to twist one end of the of both resistors together, and I'm going to apply a little bit of solder to that joint. And just tidy it up with a little bit of heat shrink. I'm now going to pop the resistor with the two red bands. Bit too much solder there, but never mind, onto the centre leg of that 10k resistor. I'm actually going to remove this third leg because we're not going to be using it. Just clip that back slightly. Okay, I've now taken about a 200mm 6-inch 8-inch length of wire, tinned two ends. Just going to trim those back ever so slightly, and just need to tin up this resistor lead, which again I've shortened. And I want the red wire. Oh, I've popped a bit of heat shrink on there. So that goes on the resistor, the other resistor. Slip that heat shrink up, and then a little precariously just add black lead to the lead on the potentiometer underneath the brass adjustment screw. Again, I'm going to try, it's rather a bit small as this heat shrink, isn't it? No, it just fits over. There we go. Give it a quick blast. I've now taken a third black wire and I've wrapped it around these first two, taking it to the other side of this little sub-assembly. These three connections go to the potentiometer, and these two will go back to the board itself. So let's get those soldered up. at this stage is to put the wires back onto the board. I'm using the two outer connections where the 10k potentiometer used to be. Also put up a piece of large heat shrink so I can actually go over this at some point, but I'm going to leave it just waving in the breeze for the moment. But I think it's time to just give it another try, make sure everything's still okay. So back with everything connected, let's try this again. Just so you get that flash there when the power supply comes up. That's good, that's on its minimum hopefully, if I've wired this up correctly. And then we turn up the wick. Not much good. Can't see that display, but that's okay. Still running just on 100 watts input to this board when put on a maximum. So that seems to work fine. Super.